taking it from the level of the consumer when I can call up an airplane that does fly to Las Vegas, but there is legislation that says I cannot use that airline to go to Las Vegas. I just have a hard time understanding why that is the best thing for the consumer.
Well, if that's the end-all be-all, the Wright Amendment allows charter flights out of Love Field. You could run a charter flight from Love Field to DF
as a consumer,
to Las Vegas.
When I'm flying home
every day, as long as it's a charter flight, it's legal.
But as a consumer, we're not going to be taking a charter flight. I mean, as a consumer, somebody just wants to go to Vegas for the weekend. I mean, that's not something we can afford.
But what I'm saying is the Wright Amendment, as it's constructed, allows for flights if there's that much demand, and if there's that much demand, you're going to have one or two airlines offering it out of DFW, which you do. There's nothing in the current Wright Amendment that would prohibit Southwest or anybody else again flying out of DFW and offering any fare they want to any airport or destination, literally in the world.
But they have to do it from DFW, not Love,
which is one of the best airports in the world.
But why should they be restricted from flying the same way and competing at a local airport?
They can compete all they want. I'm just puzzled when you have all this capacity and all this modern terminal space and parking space and runways and 3 air traffic control towers, and for some reason people don't want to use it.
But it's their choice.
That puzzles me.
You don't want to give them the choice.
We are giving them the choice.
There was a quote that came out about a year ago or so, and I wanted to ask you about it ever since then. And it was regarding when there was an effort made to repeal the Wright Amendment. You said, "I've been here 21 years. I know some of the right people. I'll put a word in the appropriate place with the appropriate person, and things will be okay." Did you say that?
I sure did.
So the appropriate people aren't the voters? Some of the right people aren't the voters? Aren't the right people the voters? Shouldn't the voters have a say in this? Every poll I've seen says you got 80% of the people want to get out of the Wright Amendment.
Well, you're looking at different polls than I'm looking at. That's certainly not the situation in Tarrant County.
Who are the right people?
I would start with the 250,000 people whose jobs have been created or are directly impacted at DFW. And I'd start with all the people who've moved into the area because of the availability at DFW.
The quote
start with those people.
The quote says you'll put a word in at the appropriate place with the appropriate person and things will be okay. Who are those people in Washington that make the decisions for us?
Well, the people that I'm referring to are the elected officials in Washington.
Okay, so
and primarily in the House of Representatives where I serve.
So is that the way it works, that we in the Dallas and Fort Worth area have no say in this? We can't get our word out? We can't get our opinions involved in this?
If the Wright Amendment is such a good policy right now, why is it that both mayors, Southwest Airlines and American Airlines, have now established an agreement to, in essence, get rid of it over the next 8 years?
Well, they decided that they could come up with a little bit different variation that was better than the current agreement, and I support that. I'm gonna co-sponsor the bill when we introduce it in the House here in the very near future.